Hey everybody, alright, so I'm Sherry. I am the owner and the artist of a Resin to Remember, and I am upstairs in my studio, and I wanted to do a video today to demonstrate to you how to dry your flowers. I believe this is something that every person that enjoys and loves flowers should be able to know how to do. So, first thing that you're going to do is you're going to need silica gel. This is the brand that I use, and this is the brand that I recommend. You don't have to use this brand, but this is what I use. I get this off of Amazon. It's probably like $25, $26 for 6 pounds. And like I said, this is the one that I use. The reason why I prefer this one over some of the other brands is because this one is really thin, like sand. It doesn't stick to the flowers like some of the other silica gels. Some of the silica gels that you can get can be a little chunky, and I don't particularly like the chunky ones. One thing that's also good about this particular brand, and you need to check whatever brand you get because they don't all do it, but this one can be recharged. In other words, once I've used it to the extent that all the moisture is kind of like no longer in here, it turns green. When it turns green, then I know that I now have to basically recharge my silica gel. And the way that you do that is this particular one, you can recharge it in the microwave for 7 to 10 minutes, or you can recharge it in your oven anywhere from a half hour to an hour. Typically, I do it at like 250 degrees. So, this is the one I use, and that's how you do it. So now, you're going to need a mask, because you need to be wearing protection when you're messing with silica gel. The fumes off, dust off of it, whatever, are really bad for your health. Then of course you're going to need whatever flowers it is that you're going to be drying out, scissors to cut off your blooms. I use this strainer because I use my silica gel, like I said, over and over again, so pieces of flowers, leaves, things like that will break off. So when I'm reusing it, I just kind of strain it to get all those flower petals out of it. So, that being said, I'm going to start off with I'm going to use this one tonight, but I'm going to put a layer of the silica gel in the bottom of this, and I say anywhere from a half an inch to an inch thick. Just depends on the flowers that you're working with. So, let me go ahead and I don't know if you can hear me, but you can see all the flowers that were once in there. For purposes of this video, I'm going to take this off for just a second, just so that you can hear me. But, alright, so I have some roses that I want to do, and one of the things that I do with my roses is to kind of try to help open them up just a little bit. Is I twist them in between my hands. Sometimes it'll work, it'll open them up a little bit, sometimes it won't. It just depends on your rose. These came from Kroger, I think. Kroger I have is actually pretty decent. Now, you don't have to dry the leaves. You can dry the leaves. Totally up to you as to whether you want to. I'm not going to dry my leaves. I'm not really interested in the leaves right now. I'm really just more interested in roses. It's a project that I want to use them for. One thing I will also tell you is that when it comes to drying roses can be longer than most other flowers. And the reason for that is all the layers that are in a rose. All of those little bitty petals that are all tightly woven together. The silica gel needs to be able to get down in those cracks and crevices in order to dry them probably as fast as what you're wanting to dry. Well, not as fast, but to dry them really good. So you kind of have to leave roses in there a little bit longer than you would other flowers, mainly because They just have so many layers. And if you don't, then when you are putting your roses in resin, or whatever it is that you're doing with them, if there's any moisture left in them, they will rot. They will mold, and that is not what we want. So I recommend drying your roses for at least a good 2 weeks. Okay, so now if you see, I've got all my roses lined up. I typically, in one of these containers that I've gotten from like Walmart or whatever, I won't put any more than 6 roses in there, mainly because, again, you're wanting the moisture to come out of them. So the more flowers, the more roses you put in here, the longer it's going to take, the harder it's going to take, and it might not completely dry them out, which is going to end up leaving you with roses that are not dry. And these are so hard to open. Bought some more silica gel because I wanted to have a little more. I actually have quite a bit right now, but I have 3 bouquets currently drying, and then I'm always drying flowers for something. So, let me get this back on. So I finished chopping those off, and one thing you want to do is you want to make sure they're completely covered. So that's why you can see me shaking it around a little bit and completely covering it. So I've been seeing these flowers on trees. I don't know what they are, but they're really pretty. So I stopped and yeah, I picked them. I look like the crazy lady on the side of the road picking tree branches because I really wanted these flowers. Like I said, I don't know what they are, but they're pretty, and we're going to dry them out. So one thing that I will do is I do kind of sort of smash certain things down in there just a little bit without trying to damage the petals. I'm going to break some of these off so that I don't have to get another container. Because as you could tell, 6 pounds of silica gel didn't go very far. Okay, alright, so should have put that. Okay, so this is also one of my flowers. And I think I'm just going to kind of wedge it in here somewhere. I buy flowers and I like to dry flowers and I like to use them, so I chop them. But anyways, one of the other things that I'll do too, so I can keep up with what day that I put things in silica gel, is I'll take a sticky note and I will actually write like Wednesday 4/24/24. And this is just basically for, hey, 4/24/24. Basically just so that I can keep track of what day I put it in there, so that I know, especially, and I'm actually going to write roses on there. And this way I know that it's roses, and this way I know that I'm not checking this thing before at least 2 weeks. So, alright, so now I have more flowers in here again, and I'm going to repeat the process. Down, down. Whoa, baby. Okay, so one of the other tips that I will tell you too is if you want to keep your flowers from flattening too, make sure that you kind of build the silica gel up around your flowers before filling the inside of your flowers. But by building up around them, you're kind of creating a wall so that they'll hold that shape. And then you can pour the silica gel down in the center of them, and it won't make them collapse or fall over, because you have to remember, however you dry them, that's how they're going to stay. And so basically now, same thing. I'm going to write a sticky note on it. I'm going to tell myself what today is. I'm going to date it. I'm going to tell myself what flowers are in here. Now with these tree branch flowers, I'm not really sure how long the branch per se is going to take to dry out. But as far as like the flowers themselves, they're pretty thin. So I would think I'm probably going to check this in a week just to see. And I really don't know what flowers they are. And if you do, hey, let me know, because I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much all the flowers that I have right now that I'm wanting to dry. And as you can tell, it used 6 pounds, and probably a good 4 pounds. So that's why I buy some every so often, and I literally keep it in a huge tote like this. But for the most part, that's how you do silica gel. That's how you'll dry all your flowers. If you have any other questions, concerns, comments, let me know. Give me a like, a share, and a follow. Thanks.